from the lighter side of pest control. This is the Tales from the Crawl Space podcast with your hosts, Jack and Brad. All right, let's head home. God damn it. Hello?
I know it's late, but you got 2 ant callbacks each you get done before you go home tonight.
Seriously? It's 100 degrees out and I've been working for 12 hours already today. Who are the callbacks?
Oh, it's 2 customers from Dave's around the other side of town.
And why the hell can't he do them?
Oh, he went home already. I'm sending you the customer info now. Get it done.
What a fucking asshole. This Tales from the Crawl Space Asshole Bosses episode.
Because I'm an asshole. Yo, 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 yo. Greetings, boys, girls, and cheese bags everywhere. It's your old pal Jack. Tales from the Crawl Space podcast, and across the desk and across the miles, Mr. Brad Harvey himself. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'll tell you what. It's fucking season. That's how I'm doing.
Yeah.
I have not. I sweated out of pores I forgot existed.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been great. If you're a Midwest cheese bag or listener of our show and not a cheese bag, shame on you. But we've had a heat bubble out here all fucking week long, and it's been crazy. It's been in the 90s every fucking day. Excuse me. Humidity has been at 2,346%, which is mathematically impossible.
Is that the corn sweat? Is it the corn sweat?
It is not corn sweat yet. Corn's only like this tall right now because it's like the end of June, right? You know, corn will be knee high by the 4th of July.
4th of July,
and then we can start. That's when the corn actually grows armpits and starts to sweat. You know, sweat.
Be glad you don't have to deal with like corn swass.
Corn swass. Corn swass.
Just dip that ear corn in that corn swass. That's right. What I'm talking about.
Just rib it down back and forth down your crack, in a vigorous circular motion.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
To this area.
It's kerneled for your pleasure.
Damn Skippy. Good old corn sweat. We'll talk more about corn sweat in future episodes here at Tales from the Crawl Space. But right now, we're going to talk about asshole bosses.
Oh, yes.
Fucking asshole bosses.
Look, we've already got the Pestrogen podcast and Mr. Mario in the chat today. How y'all doing? Scotty showed up.
You got to be shitting me. Man, everybody's here. Evening, gentlemen. Hey, how you doing, Miss Pestrogen?
How you doing?
How you doing? But, oh, my God. Yeah, Scotty knows what it's about. Hotter than a motherfucker. That's right.
Our bubble just burst, so it's been like mid-70s all day today. So I'm thankful.
Yeah, you should be. Count your blessings. Let's start at number 1. No, it's still hotter. It's still hotter than a popcorn fart, as my mom would say, out here. And it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot for the next few days at least.
Yeah.
But then after that, it kind of settles down mid to upper 80s. That's where we want to be.
Not bad.
Fucking humidity, man. God damn. Because at the end of the day, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. And you know what? That's actually fucking true. I mean, I've been in 90, 100 degree weather where it's not been real humid. And yeah, I mean, it's just as intolerable, but at a higher temperature.
I tell you, I was in Arizona, and I went to Arizona for a Johnny Marie branch manager meeting. And as soon as I stepped out of the airport, Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, it was so dry and so hot. It was almost like when you got a hangover and you just caught this cotton mouth. You're like,
yeah.
And it just sucked the moisture right out of your mouth. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
But at least you could breathe the air. I mean, yeah, it was hot and miserable air, but at least you could breathe it. You get out in this humidity where it's like 98% humidity. You walk in and you're just like, it's like a fucking wall just stops and you just can't fucking breathe. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, it's just terrible. It's terrible. And then
terrible. It's terrible.
I had a great. I had a very interesting experience today. I'm okay. It's hot. It's muggy. It's shit. I'm having a great fucking day. I'm King Midas, right? Everything I touch turned to sold. All right, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to celebrate with a salad from Zaxby's. So I go into the Zaxby's drive up. Right, I order my food. I get it. and everything. I put it in gear, and all of a sudden the gear shift just goes zoom, right down to the bottom. And it's not like clicky, clicky, click. It's smooth, right? Problem is, it's stuck in reverse.
Oh,
fortunately, no one is behind me, right? So I'm just like kind of creeping around, trying to get around that corner, make sure nobody's coming up to get their chicken fingers and rear end of my ass. But I got really lucky, and then just kind of was able to back into a parking spot. And I'm sitting there. I need to call William the Merciful and get this fucking shit figured out. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat my salad first. So I just sat there, put the parking brake on, kept it in gear so the air conditioner would flow over my extremely sweaty body. And I ate my salad, and then I had everything taken care of. So I was able to get back to the office, courtesy of one Dusty Creek, and. When I got there, I had one more stop to run, and the only vehicle that was available was my own, which was my 1994 Dodge Dakota with no air conditioning.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. So I go to this last stop, right? I end up closing the sale, and I'm just like, all right, this is fucking sweet. Yeah, so I ended up selling like a bitch today, but it cost me a lot of water in my body because I came home and I just 4 glasses of water, immediately. And it's like, okay, it's time. I've earned my keep. I've graduated to iced tea now, so I'm slamming that right down. And I was like, oh my God. But we're not here to talk about my sweat.
But the tea's a diuretic.
A tea is a diuretic, as is coffee. That's why Mormons don't drink it. Donnie and Marie's don't drink it.
Oh, man.
Fun. Anyway, asshole bosses.
Yes, asshole bosses. Everybody's had one.
That's right.
I guarantee everybody's had one. Some people may have been one at one point in time. I tried not to be, but some people brought out the sphincter in me a few times. So
totally.
They had it coming, though. I'm not totally. Mr. Shadow your texts all day and ride them like they were a cheap whore. But sometimes you got to be a little firm. But no, I wasn't. I don't think I was an asshole. Most of my technicians told me I was the best person they ever worked for. So,
I asked one of my technicians one time. I said, "Do I come across as an asshole?" And the one word reply that he gave me stuck with me for a long time, and it is sometimes. And you know what? I thought that was probably the biggest compliment I ever got.
Well, like I said, sometimes you have
Sometimes you gotta be an asshole,
right?
But to make it your business model, no.
Yeah, that's not how you're supposed to do things.
Sometimes you gotta whip the ass out on them, and that's that. And and that's he didn't just leave it at that one word. He said that he's like, yeah, but sometimes you got to do that. And I was like, Victor, that's probably the fucking smartest thing I've ever heard anybody say. Now get back to work, you motherfucker.
I know that I've found that most bosses that are assholes have no idea what they're doing. And I think they kind of use that to push people away. So you don't really get close enough to figure out just how ignorant they are.
I agree with that. I mean, there's no lies detected in that statement. I would say a lot of, there's several reasons for assholes, for assholishness. I think one of them is the fact that, they're trying to cover up the fact that they're, it's an imposter syndrome type thing,
right?
Where they don't know, they actually don't know what they're doing, then they're just faking everything. So they're going to make it like an asshole. The second one is they were trained and worked with an asshole boss. And they don't know any other different way. They don't know anything different.
Yeah.
And the third one is they are currently working for an asshole boss because let's face it, everybody's got a boss. And be it a district manager, be it a division vice president, be it the government, the IRS, whatever, you're going to have a boss. Yeah. I'm sorry, owner operators. It's fucking true. We all work for somebody. But anyway.
The IRS.
I digress. Yes. The IRS is the biggest asshole boss out there.
Yes.
But anyway, and or they're trying to prove something. Or they've been fucked over when they weren't an asshole.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on. It's like, but there's a lot of things that go into it. But you know what? But what it boils down is, don't be an asshole.
No. I tell you, my most memorable asshole boss is the one that I managed to get fired because they had it coming. It was the boy named Sue, and all I have to say is, Jack sure can write a letter.
That's one of my favorite stories of all time.
I was on good terms with both owners of the company that fairly good size, bought out by Lisa Hurt. But before that, it was this family-owned company that was pretty big regionally. And I had gotten pretty close with them, going out having a few beers, training up in Pennsylvania. And so I wrote them both a letter about how a boy named Sue was treating everybody. If you called him on his ignorance, he'd send you home without pay for the day. But then you'd have to make all the work up the next day, which he really couldn't pull that too much with me because I was the termite guy, and that's a lot of revenue that you're sending home, and you're going to piss off a customer by not showing up doing the job.
By not showing up when they're ready for you to rock and roll.
Right. So I wrote a letter explaining all the stuff, like him taking the petty cash box home every night and the other shit he was doing. And next thing you know, I come back from doing a termite job, come back to the shop, drop the truck off, and there's Tommy Termite standing at the back door, big old excited look on his face. He goes, man, you should have seen it. I said, what happened? He goes, man, a boy named Sue came out holding a box full of all the shit that was on his desk. He said, he looked at me and goes, Jack sure can write a letter. You motherfucker.
Oh, God, I love it. I love that. That's my favorite. That is hands down my favorite asshole boss story ever.
I got people out there who say that me shitting on the windshield was their favorite asshole boss story. But I'm kind of torn between the two because, knowing that letter did its job is not near as satisfying, though, as taking a hot sloppy ploppy on the windshield of his personal vehicle. So...
Exactly. So, all right. Hey, you know what? We had a really good turnout on stories tonight. Yeah. So let me give one.
Oh yeah.
We have. I always had to check these things because we did say you can be anonymous, but I would have to say 100% of the ones that I got were like, oh fuck them, use my name. So let's start off with Trenton Passmore. He says, my first company was with Dorkin. Old boss was also a salesman. When I first started, he would go out to these homes and lie about pest activity to make a sale. Oh, clutching the pearls here. Oh, wait a minute. Clutching the pearls here, Russell. If you know, you know. Old boss was salesman when I first started. He would go about to make a sale. He would tell me to walk into homes, spray Sterifab in the air to make it smell bad, then leave.
What?
He made the little franchise millions of dollars a year, so they refused to do anything to him. He's still there to this day. He's also openly racist, sexist, and homophobic. I wish nothing but vile things against this little 5'5" bald twat. And he goes, I'm going to go ahead and read our little exchange. I said, thanks for the story, brother. We'll definitely be shouting you out. Do you want to be anonymous? And he goes, nope. You can use my name. Hope it gets back to him, too. So, Trenton, thanks again for the great story. And
that dude needs a punch in the mouth. What he needs.
Oh my God, he needs a kick right in his tiny little balls, his tiny little 5'5" balls,
his little tiny penis, his tiny penis.
He's a micro peen.
Micro peen. I got an anonymous one here. My boss is the kind of guy who loses it on you as soon as things don't go his way. Real hard to talk to. My fellow techs call me to ask questions because they don't want to ask him. It's just easier that way. Honestly, I made a call to the AG department anonymously to ask a question about our wood-destroying pest inspection sheets, and he found out through the office when I pointed out something that they had said about the inspection sheets. He lost it and said he doesn't care what the ag department says about the inspection sheet. It really was a silly matter of how to sign the damn thing. We received one of those group text messages stating that we are filling them out incorrectly, but it was a little more abrasive than that. Instead of my boss coming out and saying, hey, this is the way I'd like the inspection sheets filled out, he put it on the office to be the bad person, saying it was being done wrong. Mm-hmm. Later in the day, after getting my ass chewed, telling me I wasn't to ever contact the ag department, I had to sit down with my boss, and I was told that I was a part of the family and how much I'm cared for. Complete personality change. They gave me the option to leave the company, so here's to new opportunities. Adios to the fucked up family of pest control I will never be a part of again. Fuck that dude.
Fuck that dude all day long. Holy shit. Man, when they whip the family fucking card out, God, I just cringe, man. It's like we're only family if I think we're family.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And if I don't think we're family, we're not fucking family.
No.
And besides, if we're family, get ready for me to fucking blow shit to you constantly, because that's what I do to my own family. Like, God. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to treat you like family. I'm going to tell you exactly what I fucking think of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Exactly. And you know what? I expect it back. If we're family, I expect you to tell me the exact same shit.
Yeah.
I want to know what you think of me, because I'm going to fucking tell you what I think of you. Because you know what? We're family.
You know I love you, baby. You know
I love you, but I love you to death. However,
there's always a but or a however in it somewhere, you know.
Oh well, fuck yeah, man. If it ain't got a but, it ain't shit.
I mean, we were talking about assholes, so it's kind of fitting.
Yeah, we were asshole bosses. Yeah.
Oh, I want to let you know that
wink.
One of our guests in the chat here, Mr. Mario Filippi, gave me permission to use his name for this one.
Oh, is that Mario Filippi? The Brazil Filippis?
The man who is freezing his ass off down in South America right now.
And the man you will hopefully be hearing from soon on our next international episode.
Oh, I hope so. Yes, we got to do that soon. We got to figure out what we're doing next week. Shit.
I still can't. I can't. Dude, okay, if you're listening to us in South Africa and I forgot your name, so please get a hold of one of us, because we would like to have you on the international episode.
If you are from a country other than the United States, let us know. Get a hold of us, either Jack Story or Brad Harvey, and we would love to get you on the international episode. We want to talk about
Canada
all the weird shit you got to do.
to us?
Why wouldn't Mr. Rodney talk to us? I still love Canada.
No, that's Rodney. I'm talking about the rest of Canada.
Rodney's Mr. Canada as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you got it. No, he's the mayor of Canada.
He's the mayor, eh?
He's the mayor.
He's all about it.
Yeah, it's right there next to. He's in Nova Scotia, which is right next to Dildo, Newfoundland.
Oh well, I tell you, the Newfoundland people are pretty fucking huge. So
Newfies they're huge and they're hairy and they have black hair covered. Oh, those are the dogs. I'm sorry.
Yes, they are. But it's there's not too much difference, I don't think. But don't hate me.
Damn, I almost said it.
Mr. Mario Filippi says, I'm not sure if this fits the theme of the episode of the show, but this is a story that happened over 20 years ago, and I hadn't told it to anyone in a long time. Before working in pest control, I worked as a trainee in the quality assurance department of a meatpacking plant in the Midwest of Brazil, certified to export beef to Europe and China. I was newly graduated, and it was my first job. My direct supervisor was afraid I would take her position and treated me like some dumb kid. The plant manager treated me like I was useless. To him, there was absolutely no reason for me to be there. Over time, I managed to show some value, and I noticed he started treating me better, even complimenting some of the tasks I did. Then one day, the manager called me into a meeting and asked what I knew about labeling records and meat traceability programs. I told him I was familiar with everything related to that. He then said, I want to fire you, but if you think you're capable of handling those responsibilities, I'll fire your boss and put you in her place. You'll be head of the department, but for now, we'll keep your current salary. However, there's one thing. And then he showed me a folder containing fake traceability codes that I would have to use in the records for the meat intended for export. That's when I realized that the entire slaughtered herd, or at least most of it, was not traceable, and all the documentation was forged. I would become responsible for faking all of it, which is a federal crime.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to not create tension at that moment and to buy some time, I told him I'd think about it and give him an answer the next day. Right then, I remembered what my father had told me when I entered that field. The industry is very dirty. If I ever find out you got involved in that filth, forget the way to this house.
Oh, my God.
But,
Wow.
so the next day, I told him to go ahead and fire me. The
Mm-hmm.
point in sharing this isn't to appear virtuous to anyone, but to show that even people who openly despise us will suddenly start treating us well when they realize they can use us to get what they want.
Mario, the definition of integrity is doing the right thing when no one is looking. Well done.
Yeah, Mario,
Well
as far as I'm
done.
concerned, Mario walks on water anyway, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. He is Jesus in the flesh.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. I just sent you a
love me some
message to
Mario.
go. Jack, I just sent you a message of what I was going to say and thought better of it. So while you're reading that, let me read something from our one and only Josh Talbert.
That's a good one.
I love it. Yeah, I just thought of that. But anyway, okay, this is from Josh Talbert. So, Josh, if you're listening, I'm mentioning your name.
He's in chat.
He's in chat. Oh,
Yep.
Josh Talbert is. Oh, hello, gentlemen.
Look at that. See,
Yeah,
right
I wish I could do voice to text. So, hello, tell him I said hello for me while I read his story from Josh Talbert.
Brad says
Okay.
hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh Talbert. Anyway, working for 10 Star during a rainy day, I had finished my route earlier than expected. Going back to the office, I ended up going to a residential that was scheduled for the initial. My boss, Bobby Bitch Boy, that's an original name,
That's a good one.
insisted I could use Termidor on the perimeter of the house, even though it was pouring. From day one, I was told, do not spray outside when it's raining. I wonder who told him that. Probably another asshole boss he had. Once I pulled up the label for Termidor, he finally agreed I shouldn't spray, using pocket sand, a.k.a. Bifin granular, instead. The man was in sales his whole time before becoming the manager at my previous company. I know there's good salesmen out there, but he's definitely one you do not want on your team. Josh, fucking A, man. What can I say? We've only read like 3 stories, but I'm noticing a trend, Jack.
Yeah. I got
The biggest asshole bosses come from sales.
They do, and I worked for a company that actually all of the salesmen, when they sold a service, they had to do the initial, which I think was fantastic because they're not going to set an unreal expectation because they're the one doing the initial service.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a callback within the first 30 days, the salesman has to run it. So it kind of keeps them on the honest tip, as it were, when it comes to the service. And then they have a working knowledge of being out there and actually doing the work. So I think that was actually a step in the right direction for that.
Okay. That's good, empathy and all. But you know what? I am now in sales. I have spent 33 years in service, and now I'm a salesman. But apparently I'm also a service technician still. It's like, there's nothing there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all for the team, and we're shorthanded right now. We've got somebody coming that's got some experience, and we're going to be okay. But until then, I'm fucking running services. I'm selling the shit. I'm servicing the shit I'm selling.
Right.
When I have to spend a day out servicing the shit I'm selling, what am I not doing, Jack?
You're not selling and earning
I'm
money.
not selling. You're goddamn right. I'm not selling. But and when you make speaking in terms of nickels and dimes, when you're making more money selling than you are servicing, it gets a little disheartening. But goddamn it, I'm a team player. So,
but you're out there kicking ass, and the karma
I'm also
comes
a
back
drunk
around
team player right now. So anyway,
the karma
it's what
comes
it
back
is.
around
So
to you. It does.
You do it, So all you do is look for tomorrow. Look towards tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll have somebody that's going to cover everything, and I can get back to the business of selling and growing the company. So, but anyway, gotta love it. I love you, Bill. But anyway,
Yeah,
Just wanted to throw that in there.
I love you too, Bill. Just, don't fuck up your leg
William
anymore.
is indeed merciful. So, okay, it's your turn, buddy. I did one. It's your turn.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got a twofer, but I'll do one of the two for now. These have to be anonymous.
Okay.
I work for a man we'll call Lord Farquhar. Typical little man, bullied his employees to take on dangerous tasks, strutted around like he was God's gift to the world. We didn't get on because I wouldn't put up with his temper tantrums and refused to risk my life just to get the job done. He once belittled me for leaving early for a family emergency, which I quickly shot down and put in his place. To get revenge and to be a smartass, he decided to make me redundant 5 days before Christmas Eve. As a present, to return the favor, I filed for unfair dismissal for New Year's. Gave that man an extra portion of humble pie, and I hope every time he sits down, he sits on his balls. And every time he sneezes, farts, or coughs, he pisses his pants.
The sitting down part kind of hit home. But yeah, I get it. Man, holy shit. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, especially when it's hot, because they hang away from the body to try to cool off.
They do.
And then if you're not wearing boxer briefs or something that supports the penis properly, you're going to sit down right on your nuts. So
you can always tell if your technician is male or female when all you have to do is when you go out in the morning and they've done their outside treatment and you look at the grass where the dew covered grass and you see the footprints in them. When the footprints start out like this and then they just get wider and then they go back in, that's a dude that's been doing your service, man. Because it's humid. He's already it's early in the day and he's already got dew balls going. So he's spreading them out, trying to peel the leg flesh away from the ball flesh. And then when he feels like he's reached the satisfactory amount of separation, he will bring the legs back together again so he can walk normally.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were going to sniff the seat, and if it smells like a fish market, it's a woman, but if it smells like an old ham hock, it's a dude. That's where I thought you were going with it.
An old ham hock. God damn. Speaking of old ham hocks, man, I finally ate some of that Virginia ham.
Oh, yeah? Is this the palate cleanser? How was it?
Oh, God, it tasted like a dude technician's ball sack. Actually, it didn't. No, it was very tasty. Some people may find that flavor good, but and
there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. I mean, it sat for quite a while. It had the right amount of funk and the right amount of and oh my God, it was so fucking salty. But you know what? I like that.
You gotta soak it, man.
Why? I like the saltiness.
Oh, okay, well, your heart doesn't.
Dude, it's just like a Tennessee country ham. It's salty as fuck. You're not going to eat a whole lot of it in one sitting, so you're just gonna warm it up a little bit, and then pop a fucking egg on there, and then break that yolk, and then just eat the whole goddamn thing. Man. It's wonderful.
I cut it into biscuit pieces and fry them up and have them on some hot biscuit with a little bit of butter.
Yeah, because you're a Bojangles guy. Yeah, if anybody's been following us for a long time, you saw my review on Bojangles. Yeah, it was outstanding. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm telling you what though, I enjoyed the country fried steak more than I did the country ham, but that's just me.
That's fair. I had a country fried steak one a couple days ago. They were pretty good. I mean,
the country ham was amazing, but their country fried steak was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bojangles, I recommend it. I'm actually going to, in the middle of September, I'm going to be down in Crossville, Tennessee.
Oh.
Nick Warner, if you are listening, we need to get together. You bailed on me the last year. Let's not do that again.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? What the hell?
Well, no. He had a funeral to attend.
Oh, so okay. Then I what the fuck you. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely. But last year, I was down in Sevierville. I got to meet a couple of really wonderful dudes, longtime cheese bags and everything. I got to meet Byron Barnes, owner of Barnes Exterminators, who is an asshole boss. I'm just kidding. And I also got to meet the one, the only. You know him. You love him. Tony Spangler from SpanglerOut.com.
Yeah, right there, see? Hot damn, Tony Spangler. Man got his shit together.
And he, we met out there in Sevierville, right there on Governor's Crossing at the Quaker Steak and Lube. I learned that Tony Spangler is not only one of the most interesting and wonderful people that I've ever met, he is also a big aficionado of chicken wings. He ordered chicken wings for an appetizer and an entree.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man, that fucker could put away the fucking chicken arms, man. I'm telling you. But anyway, enough about his culinary habits. Let's talk about his product, the Tony Spangler tumbler from SpanglerArt.com. Look at this damn thing. Okay, it is the at 20 ounces. It is the perfect size for me to grip. Okay, and I am very familiar with gripping something of this caliber. So of course, Jack is demonstrating the deliciously supple and rubber bottom that we have. So we definitely love to rub her bottom. And and the graphics themselves. I mean, look at these. These things just pop. I mean,
it pops.
They totally pop. Look at that. Look at that oval down here. The PCHD.
Oh yeah.
Love up you cheese bags. And look at that. I mean, who can resist that stud? I mean,
it's a handsome son of a bitch right there.
Yeah, every member of the Pestrogen Facebook group that's listening right there, their legs are springing. They're springing open, man. I'm telling you. And you think that's something? Look at this. Oh my God, man. Look at that beard, man. Does that say Chester A. Arthur or what?
That beard says womb broom is what it says. Womb broom. But all the boys like, that Bradley Harvey, that's the only pest man ever made me moist.
That's the only pest man that ever made me moist. But if you can think it, he can make it.
Yes.
For some reason, I thought, Tony, you do not have a tumbler that has the likeness of not just me with no shirt, but my nipple as well. And
the nipple.
If you look down at the bottom right there, that little dark spot, that's right. That's Harvey Nip right there. Harvey Nip, man.
That's a good name for a band. You should write that down.
Harvey Nip. Yeah.
Harvey Nip.
You remember the show Orange is the New Black?
Yes.
Yes, the warden there. He had a band. He was at a garage band that he played in the weekends. The name of it was Side Boob.
Oh, I know a guy that has a band called Fart Filled Scuba Tank.
Oh, how cool. I'm surprised the lawyers from the band Hoobastank didn't get a hold of him. But anyway, let's talk about the graphics again. Look at that.
Gorgeous colors. Man, I'll tell you.
Speaking of gorgeous colors, I mean, look at that.
Yeah,
it don't get much more gorgeouser than Paula Benedict.
It doesn't.
And look at it. And it's
Queen Paula.
Oh God, I love this chick right here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got her to sit on my lap. And I sang karaoke with her.
Yes, you did. But in all fairness, Jack, she sat on my lap too about 2 hours later. But she was a lot drunker then. So she had no idea. Maybe she thought she was sitting on your lap. I don't know. But listen to this.
I know.
Okay. Now this is not Paula's hollow head that we're listening to.
No.
This is the double steel insulation of this beautiful tumbler. I mean, this thing keeps fucking ice cubes viable all weekend long. Mm-hmm. And that's something you need to do, especially if your ice machine doesn't work like mine doesn't, and you are at the mercy of the gas station to have to go buy bags of ice, much as I am. But dude, let me tell you, that's the good ice. My ice machine has been broken for like 4 years, and I haven't replaced it because the ice at the gas station is just so damn good.
Yeah, I think I brought 40 pounds last October.
You sure did.
40 pounds of it.
Now, next October, I'm going to have you bring another 40.
That's all right. I don't mind.
Anyway, so, I mean, it's got it all. I mean, for an incredibly low price, which I have no idea what it is, you will get that insulating quality. You'll get these eye-popping graphics, and most importantly, you will get.
But wait, there's more.
The medical device of the century. And that is the one and only surgical steel stainless urethral sounding rod. Jack, tell them about it.
Well, as a personal testimonial, I ate 36 deviled eggs, and I had so much cholesterol coming out of my penis that I needed that beautiful, well-milled, nurdled at the end, urethral sounding rod, surgical grade, sterile, slid it right up in my penis, clear it out
like
of all that cholesterol. It does. Yeah. It's so pretty. But you don't put it on your finger, you put it in your penis. Or you can, your urethra, if you're a lady, you can get that puppy up there too. And I got to tell you, when it comes to loving time, you can launch loads like a fucking T-shirt gun with that damn, if you leave it in there, and it's great for priapism because, you can like help keep your, steer thing. And if you can't get it up, you put it in there and you can still get the job done. And look at that, right up in that hole. I've had views like that by women who were like highly trafficked, highly traveled highways. It was
This is for those of you that are listening to our podcast on mushrooms. Oh God, I'm telling you, man, this fucking shit, man, it's got it all.
It does.
Okay,
it
so
does.
if any of this meets your needs, remember. Yeah.
If you got Peronis, reach for Tony. Steal urethral sounding rods.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was JT Starry, which he has JT Starry VO on Facebook for podcast intros, jingles, and things like that. And if you go to 6 Foot Stump on Instagram, he's starting to get his music uploaded there as well.
And let me now we can actually safely say JT Starry as seen on Tales from the Crawl Space podcast.
That's right.
God damn, what a show that was last week, man!
That was a fun show last week. I was so honored to have him on the show.
I've been doing quasi business with JT for some time now, and this is the first time that I actually got to spend some time with him and talk to him and kind of get inside his head a little bit. And you know what? Mm-hmm. The stuff I found inside that guy's head was fucking amazing. I mean, I feel such a lot more kinship to the guy now. Than I ever did. And, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Jack's always been my brother from day one. And I feel like I got me a nephew in that dude.
Hell yeah. No, he was so stoked to be on the show and to get to meet you. It was awesome.
And rightly so. We're amazing.
Damn skippy we are.
Fucking we are. All right. Okay. I've got another story. Mm-hmm. We've got one from Charlotte Kessler Taub, former guest on Pest Control, the Tales from the Crawl Space, and a frequent flyer on Pest Control Humor Depot. She sends us one about an asshole boss. She goes, "My last boss, who I adored for 2 years completely, changed his tune when he got wind that I was looking elsewhere," which I totally understand, but also, ouch.
Right.
The connection I thought I had with him worked through working my ass off and doing literally every extra thing he asked was gone instantly. He straight up told me to spray lambda-cyhalothrin in the rain, which was frankly my breaking point, seeing a trend here too, and made me realize I couldn't keep working at that company as I would not be risking my license for what he called a gray area on the label and company decisions. When he got wind that my departure was inevitable and imminent, he called me, and instead of telling me how much they appreciate me for running a triple route, working insane hours, and being hands down top of the company, which actually might have gotten me to stay, he heavily fear-mongered shit talking my new company, telling me I was too small and weak to do the job, and that leaving would be a huge mistake. He had me bordering on tears with the terrible things he was saying, and honestly, the conversation as a whole was quite heartbreaking as I quickly realized the stellar relationship I thought we had was only a tool for them to keep me working way above and beyond the crazy thing.
Yep.
Because I love the job, and so damn much, I would have worked like that without the fakeness. He said literally everything you shouldn't say to your top tech if you're trying to get them to stay. He also promised me a several dollar bump within the next few days, all of which were raises I had earned via obtaining licenses months prior, but never received.
Right.
And told me that the yearly merit raise would be implemented company-wide within the next few days. I heard from the other techs. To no one's surprise, this never happened. He brought up my very personal health issues that I was dealing with and said that I'd never be able to survive at my new job given the health issues, which was a huge line crossed as well.
What a dick.
What a cocksucker motherfucker. He was wrong on all counts. I was not too small and weak to do the job. I quickly built up the muscle to manage the rig hose. My health problems disappeared within a week of being away. Fuck me. Hang on. With phone issues. Where was I? My health problems disappeared within a week of being away from that toxic company. And for the first time since I started working there, I actually felt healthy and good. He also claimed my coworkers would be creepy. And again, he could not have been more wrong. I met some of the best people I've ever met at the new job. In a way, I'm grateful to him through his 2 years that I was on his team, as he let me do pretty much whatever I wanted and allowed me to advance and learn more about the industry and built the foundation for a lifelong love of pest control.
Good on you, girl.
Thank you very much, but also fuck you very much. I kicked ass at pest control. I left PC for. I kicked ass at the job I left PC for, and I'm kicking ass now as a housewife.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Bravo.
Good for you.
Anyone that doesn't know who I'm talking about as far as Charlotte Kessler-Taub, her alias on Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, was Aurora Kakazaki. I think I pronounced that right. Kakazaki?
I believe so.
Kakazaki? Yeah. She'll set me straight.
Say that 3 times really fast.
No, thank you. I don't want my mouth to have. Yes, I don't need to sprain my tongue right now. I may need it sometime.
An oral prolapse.
God. Oh, shit. That's all I need is a rosebud hanging out of my mouth.
I got a story here. Story 2 from the person who submitted the last one I read. Had a boss that took full advantage of me. I was second in charge and everything but title and pay. I used my own equipment, hired and trained his whole team, and I was the go-to guy for most things. When I finally asked to make the role official, he basically demoted me. To make things worse, my partner was battling cancer at the time, so had taken a fair amount of time off because of it, as you should. She was getting treatments just before Christmas, so I needed to take time off for 2 weeks. So I had a meeting with him to discuss how to make it work without going unpaid just before the holidays. I offered to work overtime, weekends, and forgo paid leave for the following year, to which he agreed. Christmas comes and goes, and I was not paid. To say I was livid is an understatement. His excuse was that I had taken more time off than anyone else in the company and couldn't justify paying me, even though we had worked out a plan. I almost bounced the truck keys off his forehead and quit right there and then. He was actually shocked that I was angry enough to quit, not sure what he was expecting after pulling a dog move like that. Tragically, he was killed a year later in a hit and run, but part of me thinks his karma has finally caught up with him, as I was not the first nor the last person he'd given the shaft to.
Man, that's heavy.
Sometimes life kicks your ass, you know?
It does. That's heavy shit, man. That really is. You know, I don't know. I don't know about karma, you know, because I wouldn't wish that shit on anybody, especially when they like leave a family behind and stuff.
No,
but,
I get it.
God damn, man. You know, yeah. You gotta expect to get back what you give,
right?
And
right.
Be it good, be it not good. I mean, you know, it's what it is. So, okay, I'm gonna take a quick break here and talk about some of my asshole bosses.
Okay.
I want to talk about the one everybody knows. You know, I'm sure most of you know the story that is Randy Strother. You know, Randy was probably one of the most straight up guys I ever you know had the pleasure of calling a friend, and I also got the honor of having him work for me over at the Scarlet Letter, an A1 technician. So technically sound, a great friend. If things were going good, he'd let you know. If things weren't going so good, he'd let you know that too. Right. And you know, one of the favorite thing that I always miss hearing was him walking into the office and going, because of what kind of day he's had. And then after that, he'd be all cool. He'd sit with me for a while. I'd be doing my paperwork. You know, this was when I was a branch manager, and you know, I fucking had paperwork. You know, we'd sit and we'd talk for a while, and you know, the guy was great. I mean, you know, he was an artist. He was, you know, he had so many other outside interests outside of pest control. But when he was there doing pest control, he gave it everything he had, and he would do that for the companies that he worked for as well. There was one certain blue and white pinstriped, company, Economics Labrador Retriever, that basically kicked him to the curb for something that was completely unsubstantiated and everything. So that was my opportunity to grab this fucker. Schultze was like, he calls me up. He's like, Strother needs a job. I was like, bring him the fuck in, you know? And
Hell
so
yeah.
we talked for all of about 10 minutes and fucking he had a job then there. And he was great. He took, I will give you one particular account. There was a 100-year-old grain operation in Sheridan, Indiana, that was completely overrun by rats. This was like something that would make Stephen King puke. Okay.
Oh.
You know, I walked in there at first and I did the initial service and I was just like, oh my God. Okay. So I got everything set up and I went to Randy and I said, Randy, I've got a project for you. And I told him exactly what was going on. And he took the bull by the nuts and fucking got that place. 100-year-old grain place. Place was chewed the fuck up by rats. He got that goddamn thing under control.
Wow.
And it was about that time Randy started kind of slowing down a little bit. He was having some issues, and those issues ended up as a diagnosis of esophageal cancer. When Randy started at the company, he signed up. When he signed up for his benefits, he signed up for disability.
Right.
Unbeknownst to anybody in the company, they canceled the disability policy. Randy basically had to take that time off with nothing in his hands but his own dick.
Oh my God.
And then to turn around, and then the company turned around and terminated his employment. That was my sign to get the fuck out.
That was your catalyst to get.
That was my catalyst to get the fuck out.
Right,
I was
right.
planning on retiring from this place. No more after that. If they did that to him, God knows if I got older what they would do to me. I've had health issues this year, Jack. I know it comes as no surprise, but
I think we called them cascading failures last show.
Cascading failures. That's right. Catastrophic cascading failures.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, my first off, my knee went out, then my gallbladder went out, then my eye went out, and then my tooth went out.
Yeah.
Okay. God knows what they would have done to me. So, thank heavens I found a place where I didn't have to worry about that. Because the first opportunity I got, I was out of there. And I took the entire staff of that office with me, save for one guy, but whatever, that was the ultimate asshole boss. When assholishness doesn't come from just one person and ends up becoming being a business model, run, you guys.
Yep.
No. So
when it's asshole at the corporate level.
Yeah. That's funny. I was going to come in here with a big green tea story and everything, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm done. I'm done with that place. It's been 2 years. I can finally fucking tell the story.
Man, I tell you, I was looking out driving out that time to Indiana. I was going to get a chance to meet him. I was looking forward to it.
Oh my God, Joel. Stop. Okay, go ahead.
It broke my heart, but I'm glad. From my understanding, he got a chance to hear the show that we recorded.
He did.
So,
yeah, it was the last thing he did on this earth was listen to the episode that we recorded that night. The following morning, when I finally woke up from my alcohol raged and coma, I did hear the news.
Yeah.
And I heard that he was listening to us.
Well, we love you, Randy.
Oh, God. Randy, we miss you. We miss the fuck out of you, man. Every year, Schultze and I visit his grave.
Mm-hmm.
I always smuggle a little liquor into the graveyard, and we drink a toast to the dude. And
nice.
he wouldn't have had it any other way. And if we find any flowers that his ex-wife put on there, we kick them off of there before we drink the toast. It's like fucking Lauren.
Lord.
Yeah. Randy. Randy was the fastest friend I ever made, and the fastest friend I ever lost. It sucked, man. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Randy's in a better place. He's out of pain. Blah blah blah. And so. But anyway, that was probably the biggest asshole boss story I ever had.
And that does take the cake, really.
Yeah,
It does. Now, I do have some more, though. You got some more, too?
Oh, fuck yeah, I got more. Well, for one thing, I got Russell, and it's a big one.
Oh.
Much like Russell himself.
I was going to say, that's what Brad said.
Dude, I'm telling you what, yeah. Russell is definitely on my guy crush list. Unfortunately, I can't find... there he is. Okay. All right, Russ, you want me to go ahead and read Russell's?
Yeah.
Let's set the mood.
Oh,
I know. Whenever Russell says let's set the mood, it's like boing. I had worked for this Donnie and Marie for a really long time, going from start tech to route tech to service manager to branch manager. It was originally a really good place to work. I knew the owners and was friends with my supervisors and colleagues. I am still friends with some of the managers, so I'll leave the company name out of it. Okay, Russell, whatever you say.
Fair is fair.
Fair is fair. All I know is when I get done with this podcast, I'm fixing to take a wet shite. But then we expanded really big, really fast, and they took on the usual Donnie and Marie corporate attitude, forcing us to read bland and repetitive managerial books that did the opposite of enlightenment. And when I would suggest specific books, I was ignored. That sounds familiar.
Oh, yeah.
Working for the Forest Service as a team boss, I was forced to read Leadership Tactics of Attila the Hun. And to this day, I still have that book and I still swear by it. And that does not surprise me a bit, Russell. It's an amazing tool, much like you, Russell, and reference and guide, but I digest. Admit I digress. I always strive to get to know my text, to know each one individually and their families, as well as at least one goal they had in life that I would be able to check in on and see how they were doing in attaining that goal and how I could help them. My job was, as I always put it, to ensure the success of my technicians.
I'm right.
I am not perfect. Don't think I am, but I do try to be decent. I have a lot of stories of them. Shutting down my food pantry, I started for those that needed a little extra help, pencil whipping write-ups and falsifying them so to screw over techs who were fired for menial things, or to fire techs that they just didn't like, trying to fire a tech for taking too much time off after his wife and daughter passed away.
That's Donnie Marie for you.
Really positive and Christian behaviors, Yeah, I'm sorry. Donnie and Marie have nothing to do with Christians. Jesus gets lip service there. Anyway, but one repetitive issue immediately sticks out in my mind. After I stepped down, after I became so disgusted with the system, I was running routes, and they would purposely ruin my routes. For those that know Houston, Texas, my route would start in Pasadena, go to Baytown, Rose, Sharon, Alvin, Texas City, and Friendswood, all in one day.
Jesus.
Paula's shitting bricks right now. For those that don't know, that's about 6 to 7 hours of drive time. Now Jenny's shitting bricks. On top of 17 stops, over half of them being callbacks, I was making $900 a paycheck twice a month.
Wow.
When I would mention this to management, I was told that there was nothing they could do to fix my routes. I was experienced. I should know how to run it. And on top of that, I was being written up for not completing my routes because that much drive time and 17 stops mean I have to do 5 to 10 minutes a house. That's not a complete service.
Nope.
I stuck it out until I saw they were doing illegal termite work and found out they were still using my C certified applicator license for that branch. When I brought it up and asked for compensation for them renting my CA, I was told to suck it up, basically, and I hung on, hoping that anything would change. My write-ups grew. My routes became even worse, and yes, that was possible. So I left. I couldn't anymore, and life has been rocky, but so much better since that moment. I am free from their filth and slime. I have also found that their head of sales was in a lawsuit that had to pay out $6 million
Oh,
to customers he had lied to, stolen from, and had illegal dealings with. A small karma. But to all of them, this is where it gets good, Jack. But to all of them, may you develop Fournier's gangrene. If you have a strong stomach, Google image that one. For those that don't, basically your testicles and inner thigh rot with a horrid and painful bacterial infection. It's yummy. Oh, damn, that is awesome.
Well, I tell you, that is par for the course for Donnie and Marie to do that. And I will say this, if you work for a Donnie and Marie company and they start trying to force you out, don't sign anything. If they give you a write-up, look at it. Hand it back to them. Do not put pen to paper for anything. Not checking something off. Not writing your initials. Not writing your name. Because that is plausible deniability. Because when you go for unemployment, if you've got these write-ups that you signed, that means you've known about all of them. And you don't deserve to get unemployment. But if you don't sign them, you say, hey, I never got it. I don't even know what they're talking about. Yep. They can't prove that you did see it. So that's plausible deniability. And you're much more likely to get unemployment. So don't sign anything. Don't sign anything.
Yep.
That's all I have to say about that.
I've got one more story.
All right. Then I got a few. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 more to read.
You still got something. Fucking keep going, man.
All right. Let's see. I lost my place here. 1, 2. All right. My old boss would sometimes ask me to wait a couple days before I cashed my paycheck. When I eventually complained about it, telling him that I had my own bills to pay, he erupted, "You should be grateful that I even gave you a job. You get paid before me," as if it should have been any other way. I lasted about 3 paychecks before I moved on. Don't fucking blame you. If the company can't pay their own employees,
absolutely not.
That is horrible mismanagement, and you did the right thing to get the fuck out of there.
Yep, absolutable. Oh, my God.
I got one that says, there was a time when air conditioning was an extra option when buying a truck. The boss would have none of that and said that it cost too much. I was second in command and felt horrible watching our techs come in at the end of the day looking all wiped out from the heat. I would get into heated arguments with the boss, who, by the way, was driving around in a brand new Bonneville Deluxe with AC, of course. Finally, at one point, one of our screaming matches, he said, if you give them air conditioning, they will never want to get out of their trucks. What a prick.
True, though.
I took over the business eventually, and ever since I made sure that my guys are comfortable as comfortable as possible out there. Employee turnover was reduced and productivity went up. You're damn right.
Yeah, absolutable. Oh, my God. That cracks me up. If they get air conditioning, they'll never want to get out of your truck. Damn fucking Skippy, especially like this week.
Oh, yeah, you kind of get your face in it and, really get your skin actually cold before you step out so you can not melt from the truck to the door.
Yeah. I want to get some shout outs to some of the some of the shit we've been looking at since we've been talking. Scotty says, one of our service trucks lost its air conditioning on Monday. I put the tech in my personal truck and gave him a flow zone. The show must go on.
Damn right, man. Damn right.
Scotty is a rising star with me. That guy, I'm telling you what. Not only does he have a beautiful garden, an awesome smoker setup, but now he's fucking throwing technicians in his own personal truck. So that's outstanding.
Oh yeah.
And then Josh kisses my ass by saying, Brad was the best boss I had. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. I did take a shower before the podcast, so that's great. So, I was there for you too, buddy. And Tyler Mack, I'm assuming. Everybody, hello. What a beautiful day. Take a piss right in the cow of the truck. Okay.
That's why I said on the radiator, right?
On the radiator. Yeah, and Josh tells me I can use his name. I say his name often.
That's right, Josh.
Says he is an insult of short people everywhere. Must be referring to that 5-foot motherfucker we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
And then Scotty says that was next level shit. Hat tip Mario. Mario, you always give the best. You give good stories, buddy.
That's right,
You
Mario.
tell
We
me
love
why.
you, Mario. We
Oh
love
my
you.
God. Absolutely. So I got one more story. You got any more?
I got one more as well.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and throw mine out there, and it's from my beloved cheese daughter, Jenny Wilson. And co-host of the Pestrogen podcast. Please
Yep.
check that out. They usually air early in the week, usually around Monday or Tuesday. So give them a listen. They're great gals. That's Candace Nordquist and Jenny Wilson. They're like us. They tell it like it is, only they don't get as drunk as we do. And they don't talk about urethral sounding rods either.
And penises.
So. And penises. No, they talk about vaginas.
The vagina.
The vagina. Anyway, so Jenny goes. Jenny says, for my first company, a Donnie and Marie type of company, we had employee reviews where the service manager would come and shadow your work and basically grade you.
Mm.
Well, with this specific service manager, he was having troubles at home. Ooh. So instead of actually coming out and working alongside me as they usually did, he sat in his truck and argued with his wife. Damn. Heavy workload, incredibly hot day, much like today. When he first rolled up, I was happy because I thought I had assistance and bonding with management, but alas, I had to overhear his marital issues and been scorned from a distance. It was the worst manager in the field experience I ever had in the industry because he couldn't leave home and do his job. At the end of the day, he actually told me his 2 weeks were in and he really didn't care anymore. He then had the audacity after he left a couple weeks later to try and call me and talk me into leaving because he wanted to fuck over the branch manager. Man,
God.
I'll leave when I want to, not on account of your lazy ass. That I did too. Toxic hellhole of a place. I hope his current boss gives him as much disregard as he gave me that day.
Wow.
Jack,
Yes.
what kind of fucking industry have we gotten ourselves into here?
One that's fraught with assholes, to be honest with you. I mean, it's especially when it comes to Donnie and Marie. I know I'm jaded when I say this, but it's strictly bottom line for them. It's technicians are just numbers. They have warm body syndrome. They'll bring whoever they can in to fill the spot. They don't. They treat the sales bastards like gold. Like Donnie and Marie offices don't make a dime on the yearly contract for new customers they sell that summer. They don't make a dime on them because it all gets paid to the sales bastards.
I gotta know though. It's not just us, is it? I mean,
No.
it's got to like plumbers and lawn care and electricians and all those type of peoples, roofers, home improvement people. Places that always, like run routes and stuff like that. It can't be just pest control.
No, I've worked for other industries that
Retail.
Oh my God,
Especially retail.
I'm sure you get some serious ones in retail.
Oh God, man, yeah. I don't want to get into that. That's we don't have that kind of time. But Jesus Christ, man, it's like fuck's sake. We're all trying to do the best thing for our families. We're all trying to make a buck. We're all trying to succeed. Why do you have to be a fucking asshole in the process?
It's inescapable sometimes.
It is. I guess it keeps the assholes off the welfare rolls to get a job. But why do they always have to climb to management?
Because what do they say? For those who can do. For those who can't, manage.
True enough. That's always been my mantra. And hell, I've been a manager for more times than I've been an employee, so I get it. It's like we can be
managing back to
we can be assholes sometimes. It's like Victor DeBull said. When I asked him if I was an asshole, he goes, "Sometimes, but sometimes you have to be one." But you don't have to be one all the goddamn time.
Like Raylan Givens on Justified said, if you meet an asshole during the day, you've met an asshole. But if you meet assholes all day long, you're the asshole.
Wow.
Well, I got one more story here. We're going a little over here. Mr.
Who gives a shit?
Richard Chisholm gave me permission to use this one.
Dick Chisholm. All right.
I didn't say that.
I did.
I once had a manager that believed once you finished your classroom training, you knew everything and were ready to go into the field. I tried to tell him with proper training, it takes you a year to figure out what the hell is going on. It's more to learn in this business than 2 weeks on the job training and classroom training. Now, you get them assholes that are just trying to get them production numbers, and they'll just go throw you out there to the wolves, you know?
Yep. Absolutable. And that cracks me up. That cracks me up whenever, I hear about that. I get it. There are some things. Okay, let's just look at it this way. Okay, when I left Scarlet Letter and went to work for Will and the Merciful, I was the exception to the rule. I've been at it for 30-some years. What I needed to learn was how he wanted things done. Day one, I didn't ride with anybody. He put me in a truck and I ran. Okay,
right.
I ran so far away. And I ran. I was waiting for you to do that. I ran
so far away. A flock of seagulls.
Yeah, the one finger keyboard. But no. I was the exception to the rule. But there's a couple things I had in my corner. One was the operating system, the invoicing system that he used was the same one I used at Scarlet Letter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's PestPack. So
PestPack
Mobile. All I had to do was change my name and my password. I was in his shit. I'm off on the road, man. I was out fucking earning day one.
Nice.
Not everybody has that, right? So you're going to have to spend a few days with them to kind of get, if they've got, a different thing, a different way of doing stuff, you got to figure all that shit out. And, as a manager, as a leader, you need to learn that because, the name of this podcast isn't Asshole Leaders. It's Asshole Bosses.
That's right.
And the reason why is because leaders are never assholes. And, you can be a leader. Anybody can be a boss, but it takes a special someone to be a leader.
Yep. Agreed. 100%.
That's that. Jack, what are we doing next week?
That's a good fucking question.
That is a good fucking question. It's too soon to do an international episode because we got to rustle some people up.
Yeah, we got that takes some logistics. So
you want to go ahead and hit the realtor one?
We can try that.
Asshole. Let's do an asshole. Let's do back-to-back assholes. Let's book in the assholes. Let's touch butts.
That sounds like a porno. Back-to-back assholes.
Back-to-back assholes. Yep. 2 assholes, one cup. Wow. Okay, let's talk about realtors for a minute. And then you guys give us your stories, okay? Realtors. They're probably some of the dumbest fucking people out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I know we've got some realtors that actually do pest control, but you know what? We're not talking about you, all right? We're talking about the ones that want you to falsify documents, to get the sale. They're the ones that wait until the last minute to get their inspection and all that other good shit. You've got realtor stories. I know you do. Please send them to us. You can private message. You can DM me. You can DM this dude right here. And, we'll give you some air. Be anonymous if you want. I understand realtors do bring in some money for you, but goddamn, some of them are just fucking idiotic. So
I have a feeling we're going to be hearing from a lot more termite guys than we will pest guys.
Which is fine because, termite, it is part of our thing here.
That was my origin was termite, so I have a special
your
place
orgasm
in my heart.
Was termite?
My initial orgasm was termites.
Your initial orgasm was termites. That's right. That's one way to treat those fucking holes. But
I got a special love for the termites people.
I do too, and I didn't start off as termite, but goddamn, man, termite dudes, they're the blue collar MFs of this place.
Well, I'll tell you, like I always say, you can go to a crowd full of pest control people, and without even fucking saying anything, you can pick the termite guys out of the crowd.
Oh well, hell yeah, they're the ones that look like Nolan Gainey. It's like sitting there all jaded with a cigarette dangling out of their mouth,
with absolutely zero fucks.
Exactly. So yeah, we are not going to have a guest next week. So thank God. But yeah. So but I'm going to say, let's say 2 weeks from now, you want to try the international one.
Yeah, we'll get stepping on that.
This is the beauty of Tales from the Crawl Space, because Jack and I will sit here on the air and try to figure out what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, we'll do whatever the fuck we want.
It behind it, it's like, yeah, let's turn this off and then we'll talk about it. Fuck that,
Nah.
But anyway. So, yeah, okay, Asshole Realtors next week.
Yep, Asshole Realtors.
On Tales from the Crawl Space, TFTC Live. So, yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for your stories. You guys really brought it in this week, and we really appreciate it. We are nothing without you. And,
that's right.
All 15 of you motherfuckers, all 15 of our listeners are the bomb. So, on behalf of us here at TFTC Live, Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite group, SpanglerArt.com, we wish you to bug the fuck off.
Bug off.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Oh, thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. Jack and Brad will be back next week with another great episode. TFTC can be found on almost every podcast provider available, and you can also find us on TikTok at TFTC 2.0, Instagram at TFTC Podcast, Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot Group, and our website, www.tftc.wtf. Don't forget to subscribe and share. See you soon.